All right, we're getting new tires. They are pretty bald. Pretty bald. Motor member tires we got today. Brand new. Starting to scuff them in. Good idea with these is about 100-mile break-in. Find yourself some nice turny roads. Don't push it to the limits, just drive. And you'll slowly start to wear these tires in. And it's a lot better to get on the turns because you're starting to wear from side to side, where if you just get on the highway, you're gonna run the center. Now this tire here is really good for rain, right? But it's good for longevity. This tire has a good bit of meat in it. It's another Dunlop. And this one is called the Sport Max GPR300. I haven't found a lot on these tires, like video-wise, but I've talked to a few people that like them, run them on their sport bikes, and you know, they're cheaper. I was gonna buy I think they were Dunlop Roadmaster 2s is what these came with. Well, this one came with anyway. A lot of these bikes do come with these tires here. They were like 160 to like 200 depending where you got them at for the back, and like 125 to like 160 for the front. These one at my dealer I actually could get for $89 and $110. And a lot of people actually on reviews seem to actually like these things. I haven't seen many videos on them, but I figured we'd talk about them in this video, and we'll do maybe another video about halfway through them, and then towards the end to see how many miles we got. The Roadmaster 2s, we ended up getting almost 4,000 miles out of them. We went 40 miles so far on these. So we got about 60 more miles before these are really broken. I'm gonna get ready to hit the highway and see how they feel on the highway. I will tell you, they're not broke in yet, but they are stiff. Real hard contact patch here. It's really hard material, and then you got softer rubber here for turns. So that's what we went with, because we're not expert riders, so we don't need nothing too aggressive. You know what I mean? We're not really got a high power bike here or nothing. It's not a lot of power. Couldn't speak. Not a lot of power. But yeah, I think they're going to do pretty good. I've heard people say that they only get about the same as what I did, about 4,000 miles. There is a defect in these tires, and you can still do it. Still feel vibration. I forgot to tell you guys about the vibration, but yeah, we got a vibration going. Wasn't even gonna tell you about it, guys, until this. They tighten everything all right. Look at that bullshit. Look, missing nut here, missing both nuts in the cap. Done rattled off. So I'm going back to the dealership. They only replaced the front for right now. So, I don't know, it feels a little bit better. take it on the highway, and we'll see what it does. Another oil change, and we did this one at 2,000 or 2,100 miles. Now, I am at the head of a trail. There's 2 trails right here. I don't know if someone hikes this yearly. We're on top of a mountain, taking a break. Something caught my eye. I don't know if someone does this hike yearly and put themselves a snack over here or what. Oh, we finally got the bike clean. Nice and clean. Got that, and the Mirage clean. Steelers are playing tonight. Thought about going. Tickets are cheap for preseason. Yep, back again. We got almost 6,500 miles now. I guess we'll be doing like a 7,000 mile review or something. Could have went to the ball game tonight. Pirates are playing. Right there. Almost out riding. But had some good pizza. Wouldn't mind taking the Mistress out here one day and making a couple hits. Got a spot in mind out here. If I can get somebody else to come out and do it. Get 2 cars. But yeah. Kawasaki don't look too bad. Doing good so far. I really like it. The only complaint I have is it's slow. But it helps build skills. You know what I mean? I haven't rode for so long, so it's cool to have something. It's not very fast, but yet it's still really fun, you know? But we'll get into that. And that right there is the Potomac River. People in there kayaking. This is the C&O Canal footpath now. This was the canal. Goes the whole way to Cumberland, Maryland. They actually have it passed the whole way to Pittsburgh now. So they do. Somebody got a nice Ninja 650 there. One of the many streams that would help fill the canal. They would revert water into that. Fill it up, ships. And then that trail path right there is where the mules would pull the ship up the path. But that would start in Chesapeake Bay, up the Potomac River in DC, Cumberland, Maryland. All right, let's talk about this thing. We're gonna do a tire review. You can see we're right at we need to replace them right now already. I think we put these on about 3,000 miles ago. But what we were doing was a lot of trips out to Pittsburgh. So a lot of straight line in it, hard accelerations, high speeds, each tire's up, replace front and back. I will say, for the price for those, they're not bad. They're a little stiffer than the ones I had on it, but they seem more stable at higher speeds. These things only do, I guess depending on your weight, me, 6'3", 215, 122, that's it. Downhill like 125, hold it long enough, 125. But you have to get it tuned and everything. The throttle blades actually start to close, and there's a lot of stuff into that, but it's just a beginner bike slash advanced rider bike. And personally, I really, really enjoy this bike. I really only have one beef with it, is it's slow. Pretty quick acceleration from 0 to 60. But it's overall a slow bike. But that doesn't mean anything, you know what I mean? That's not just the reason why you buy a 650. You buy a 650 for reliability. 7,000 miles in, and I beat the living crap out of this thing daily. And holding up so far. I'm really enjoying it. Getting ready to go through our second set of tires. The brakes look pretty good. I probably should pull them off and look better, but visual inspection, what I can see, they look great still at 7,000 miles. For what this bike is, the brakes are pretty good. I wish they would make them a little bit better, but they're pretty damn good. ABS, wasn't sure if I would buy a bike in ABS, and I did. I'm actually really glad I did buy a bike, because where I'm from, look, I'll give you an example. See that deer? They're like almost like pets around here. They're like just chilling in the yard. So they're everywhere. So I've had to use ABS several times for deer. A couple times for people turning from this direction, you know, they want to go this way in front of you left. And that's the most dangerous spot on a motorcycle anyway. If you guys been riding, you know that. I haven't rode for a long time, and personally never rode much. Mostly just friends' bikes, and they, you know, give me the keys, go ride it, man, let me know what you think. But this is the longest I ever rode a bike. Like, I probably had a total of 1,000 miles, maybe more, on a motorcycle before this, and this is the most miles. Had it since June, so 3 months. It's the last day of August. So 3 months. And I'd have probably put more miles than that on it. It's just had a terrible month of August. My Rottweiler passed away, and I'm missing her terribly, my Luna. So that's devastating. So if you're watching this and you've been around the channel, you know that's not good. It's not good for me anyway, and it's terrible. But we would have got a little bit more miles on it, but we had some problems here and there with dogs and whatnot. We had some issues with like the dealership and stuff. Like I had all this in there earlier in the part of the video, but like they lost like all the nuts off of that. They replaced it like instantly. I never even told you guys yet either about these front tires. Like they literally had to replace that one with a defect. It was vibrating like crazy, so that got replaced. Everything was done with no questions, but it was, then they had my back markings to my chain like off a little bit, and like I'm super keen on like keeping those markings identical even, and they fixed that. I mean, nothing was said, so that's good. But man, I don't know how many times I'll give them any more of a chance. You know, that's where I bought the bike, but holy crap, man. Moto member in Chambersburg, you got to get your shit together, man. Like, they give me a decent deal on this bike, and they just matched the deal I got in Hagerstown, which worked out better for me because they inspect the bike. I get my tag that day. Maryland, they wouldn't do an PA inspection, and you don't get your tag that day, and you got to deal with all the other crap. So, yeah. I'm glad I got it where I got it. Overall, everything I don't like about it is it's slow. I was really thinking about getting a 636, but after driving the 650, I realized I really do like more of, I guess, a naked bike stance. This is more of a naked bike stance. Less aggressive. You know, I'm getting older. I didn't know how I would like it. That's one reason why I got a 650, because it was like in between. It's not really a sport bike. It's a sport touring bike. And sport touring bikes are just like naked bikes. They got that less aggressive lean. And I'm really thinking about getting a Z900. And that's in the future. I'm not sure if I'll get rid of this bike or keep it. This bike would be great to keep. Or I might sell it. I don't know. I beat the living crap out of it, so I don't know if I really want to keep it. Got a 3-year unlimited mile warranty. I don't know if anybody's ever blew one of these up within 3 years, but we might be the first ones. We're hard on it. Switched to synthetic oil as well now. Did another oil change. Probably getting ready to have to do another one before too long. Headlights are good on this thing. Brakes are pretty good on this thing. Suspension's a bit soft, but it is a beginner bike. And I've really been getting after it. Not so much this time. As you can see, I'm more wore out in the center. But trust me, I've been getting at it on the turns as well. And it's a bit bumpy. Someone that's a little bit lighter than me, probably fine. But the suspension being soft like that, it kind of sucks. So somebody wanted to come in here, ruin their day. But would I recommend one of these? The answer is yes, most definitely. I would not buy a 400. I wouldn't buy a 250. I wouldn't buy a 500. I would start on one of these if I was anybody. Now, unless you haven't like even rode a dirt bike or a ATV or anything like that, then maybe I would start with something. But I don't know. I wouldn't even do that if you had a friend that would at least let you practice on theirs here and there in like parking lots just to give you like the fundamentals. Then I'd go buy a 650. I wouldn't waste my money on it. If you're someone like me that has a lot of experience, I probably wouldn't waste my money on a 650 either. I would probably go straight to a Z900, 636, or even an SX 1100. Yeah, I mean, I literally would. But if you have like no training at all on like off-road or any on-road at all, yeah, I mean, that's be the only time I would even consider anything under a 650. The 650 is great. For a beginner, you got your acceleration that you let out. The engine decel is really, really good. A lot of people hate that, but for a beginner, that's perfect. Even for me, that's someone that's been riding and rode off-road for his whole life, like, I like it because you don't even have to touch the brake much. You can really get at it in the turns, let out of it, tap the brakes, and you're down, you know. If you screw up on a place that you haven't been at, too much and you go a little bit in it, you know, let out, don't panic, don't hit the brakes, and it'll slow down and just lean into the turn. But yeah, I mean, I give this bike 8.5 out of 10, honestly. And it's only lacks in power, but I mean, the class that it's in, is it really supposed to be powerful? I don't think so. I think it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do, commute, do it well. Everyday commuter, if you want it. You could track this bike. I know you could. You're not going to do some crazy numbers, but you could easily track this bike. You got plenty of clearance there. But right now, 7,000 miles, I would recommend this like crazy. I really, really like it, guys. Really like it. Hopefully this video makes a little bit of sense to everybody. It's kind of all over the place because it took me about 2 months to make this. Something like that, about a month. Yeah, about a month and a half. And we done went through tires as we tried to make this. More mileage, and still looks good. Clean. Perfect, good bike. Love it. Runs great. I would highly recommend it. Beginners, advanced. Especially if someone that doesn't care about speed. How can you beat this bike for the price line? You can't beat this bike for the price. You can't. 67 horsepower, something like that, 67 horsepower. You can't beat it for the price. What it does, what it can do, excellent. Plenty of aftermarket stuff for it. I can only complain about one thing, lack of power, but it's not a bike built for power to begin with, and I knew that. It's just, I was hoping for a little bit more. Thanks for watching.